Bitcoin, the crypto asset, jumping past 60,000, getting up. It depends on where you're looking on the different exchanges. Different exchanges have different levels here, but definitely seeing the highest that we've seen in quite some time, Josh. And the action that we've been watching that is so interesting here has to do with this little drop that we saw happen. And that was after Coinbase said some of its users were reporting that they were seeing zero for some of their accounts. So they tweeted about it earlier today. That then got a lot of attention. Basically, they're saying some users might see a zero balance. They said your assets are safe, but you might see a zero balance. And then Brian Armstrong, the CEO, saying they had seen a large surge of traffic that caused that. And then finally, Coinbase is saying some of those accounts are back up and running. Anecdotally, we've talked to some folks whose accounts are back up and running now. But let's talk a little bit more again about the price action. I know you've been watching all the big numbers.
Yeah, just to put some numbers on this, Julie, because it is just a kind of remarkable comeback you have seen for Bitcoin. So you jump past 60,000, which, by the way, is the first time we've been at these levels in more than 2 years. That means you're actually getting closer now to that record, that all-time high, which was 69,000, and that was back in November 2021. So the price action is pretty incredible here. And really, let me just do year to date too, we could see that, because that alone, if you just look at that, so you're up about 40% already this year. You've actually tripled from the start of the beginning of last year. And kind of in context there, you bring it back to 2022, right? You saw this plunge. I mean, you saw Bitcoin nosedive about 60%. And you know, we've talked about this. It wasn't just that price action. It was all that kind of came with it during that period. All the drama, the trials, the scandals. I mean, there were really people, Julie, remember this, who were really questioning just the future and the viability of these digital assets. And so you have seen now just this comeback, just a remarkable, fierce rally here.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the 3-year chart here, including that high that you mentioned. That was a couple of years ago. What's interesting is, even as you say that, you know, you had that period of scandals that coincided with the so-called crypto winter, you still have the criminal situation with Binance sort of resolving itself, getting to the end of that. There has been an uptick in investigations related to alleged social media related fraud connected to crypto. So that stuff hasn't necessarily gone away. That's what's kind of fascinating here, even as we see it come back up, helped in part by the spot Bitcoin ETFs introductions. But it's been an interesting and sudden move upward.
And you point this out as well. It's all, you do have that drama and some of it's still playing out. But then, of course, as you know, as you've mentioned, you have the Bitcoin bulls would point to some of these other drivers. Spot Bitcoin ETFs, one of them kind of limiting supply. If demand holds steady, you wonder what it could mean for the price action in the near term. And also, of course, some speculation about spot Ethereum ETFs, maybe that's playing too. And also that market dynamic we talk about, the Bitcoin halving, that's coming up as well in April.
All of that may be true, but as we talked about a little bit yesterday, and as I wrote about in today's takeaway in the morning brief, there's also this sort of a number go up philosophy. In other words, you buy because the price is going up and you want to participate and you think the number is going to continue to go up. And so far this year, it has.
It has worked.